Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Today is another scent video and I thought it would be fun. I hope you guys like this idea to do like a fruit basket inspired video about perfumes, right? So I'm going to be talking about a fruit and of perfume that I feel like matches where the significant smell and note is that perfume. So like pineapple we're doing, lime, coconut, strawberry, mandarin / oranges, and I'm really excited for it. I thought this would be a fun way to do essentially like a summertime video without doing like summer fragrances. It's a little bit more fun, it's a little bit more specific, and I also thought it would be fun to showcase some perfumes that I don't even have full bottles of in my collection. I tend to like woody unisex fragrances overall when I think of the things I really wear a ton, and so I don't wear tons and tons of fruity stuff all of the time. It's not that I wouldn't, but you know, these are more for me like, ooh, let's uplift or a vacation or something like that. And all of these have, I feel like something, yeah, summery, fun, maybe a little bit tropical, just a little more spunk and personality. And I'm excited to talk to you about them. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoy. And I would love to know which perfumes you think of for each of these like fruits. If you have something different than mine, I definitely want to know. And of course, there are going to be fruits that I don't talk about. I'm only talking about 10 different ones today. So yeah, anyway, okay, let's get into it. So the fragrance that inspired this video for me is Fineapple from Gallagher Fragrances. I was watching a video from Joss's Fragrance Mixology. I think that's her channel. Yes, it is. So I will leave her channel link down below. Definitely go check it out. She was talking about this fragrance in an underrated perfume video, and I had bought a Gallagher sample pack. I have like all the Gallagher fragrances. I have all the pearlescent fragrances as well. And I had done that a while ago, and she was talking about Fineapple. It's summer, and I was like, you know what? I want to bust that little sample out and smell it again. And I enjoyed smelling the stuff from Gallagher, but nothing really caught my fancy. But now that I'm going back to Fineapple, it's pretty good. It's super fruity. This has a pineapple note. That's what I'm picking it for, the pineapple note in this fruit basket. And it also has an apple note though. It's woodsy though in the base, and it has some musk in the base, and I think that's what I really like. I almost get something minty. There is no mint noted in here, but I get something almost mentholy, or I don't know. That comes off to me. And the pineapple kind of scent in here smells like sticky sweet, like when you're chopping up the pineapple and there's just juice, like at least when I do it, my gosh, pineapples can be just like kind of a pain in the ass to fucking cut, because I'm like trying to save as much meat as possible, but also like don't want this prickly outsides like on my bites at all either. It becomes a whole thing. Anyway, I do smell that like the juice that gets on your hands afterward, and you really gotta wash them, because if not, like, you know, little pieces of your hands are still kind of sticky. I feel like that kind of smell, the juice that's left over from cutting, that's on your cutting board and stuff, like I feel like I'm getting that vibe from here, along with something kind of fresh. Again, those woodsy and like musky notes in the base. There are some florals in here. I don't really smell those too much, but I do get something almost kind of syrupy as well. So this is one I'm excited to be testing on my skin a lot more, especially during the hotter months, and I can see myself wanting a bottle of this. I like having a range of fragrances in my collection, even if I'm not using everything all of the time, you know what I mean? And I feel like this kind of pineapple note is quite special, and I definitely wanted this to be my pick. I'd love to know though, do you have other pineapple fragrances out there where the real big note is pineapple? Because that's the other thing for this video. I really wanted the main thing I'm smelling to be whatever that specific fruit note is. There's some perfumes where it's really well mixed, or you know, there's so many fruits going on, it just kind of overall smells fruity, but I really wanted to focus in on those like the key star of the show fruit, you know? Okay, so that is Fineapple from Gallagher Fragrances. Next, this is a newer fragrance to my collection. This is Jo Malone's Bitter Mandarin, and I got sucked into this because I'm a big fan of orange bitters from Jo Malone. That one's really nice, like for me, fall, cozy kind of scent. It smells like, to me, exactly like orange bitters, a little bit like Cologne and masculine as well. And I really feel like this is the summer version of that perfume. It's a little bit brighter, and it has this really bright mandarin in it. I think that this smells exactly like an Aperol Spritz. Like that is the best way I feel like to describe this fragrance. The Mandarin in here I think is just really beautiful. It's not sweet at all. I get something almost kind of spicy and almost like a ginger. I could also see if it's not an Aperol spritz, this is like a healthy juice. Like a very healthy juice with a heavy orange slash mandarin fruit in it with that ginger, again, maybe some greens. It has that fresh, spicy, bright kind of thing going on. I do think that this could be a little bit, pull a little masculine, but I think that it's really just strong, kind of sexy, unexpected, and I think it's a really unique fragrance as well. Not your sweet, fruity orange going on, but definitely I think works for the standout note of mandarin and orange. I guess I'll read the notes off for you guys. This has bergamot, mandarin orange, and petitgrain in the top, orange in the mid, and then iris and amber in the base. So I think it's just light and airy. Has a little bit of richness still from the amber, but just beautiful, beautiful little fragrance. So glad to have it in my collection. And I wanted to note, when I first got this, the top, it looked dirty, but I think it's supposed to look like a faux marble, but I don't know. I feel like that was kind of a miss because really it's not enough of a marbled look to look like real marble. So instead it just looks like, is this dirty? Is this scuffed up? Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? I bought this in person, actually. I didn't buy this one online. And yeah, I got sucked in. I was like, sold, sold. I think this one's limited edition too. That's one of the reasons I was like, I'm just gonna get it instead of trying to find it later. You know, that's annoying. Ooh, that Fineapple. Okay, as it dries down, I feel like the pineapple dies away a little bit. It is kind of in the opening, but you get these beautiful musks, and I think that's why I like it so much too, is that I really think it's gonna wear nicely and is my style while still being fun and fruity. I'm excited to keep testing that out. And that's one of the reasons I really enjoy getting sample packs. I know they can be expensive, but it's fun to try out fragrances and then revisit those in a couple of months, maybe when the season's changed, your scents are changing, what you're liking has been changing. There are so many things that I initially maybe didn't like and then later go back and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And so I know that if I had smelled that only 6 months earlier, I wouldn't have liked it. So it's interesting, and I have enjoyed having the fragrance little samples. Like I love samples. I love just having them, access to them. I love watching other people and having my little sample to like spray and smell while they talk about it. Like, I love that shit. All right, next we're gonna talk about another citrus fragrance. This one is showcasing lime though, and this is Atelier Cologne's Pacific Lime. The moment I smelled this, when it first came out, I think it was like 2018, maybe 2019, maybe 2019. I was at Sephora, which is like a Sephora convention that they used to do. I don't know, it hasn't happened since, you know, 2020, since COVID. I don't think anyway. But when I smelled this, I just love it. This is a very lime heavy fragrance, but it also has some coconut in it. It's super beachy, super fresh, but it's not like a pina colada type of fragrance. Coconut tends to go like pina colada, super fruity, sugary drink. It can go like woody coconut with like sandalwood and that type of thing going on. It can go like sunscreen or something. And this kind of is in its own realm. I really like that this doesn't have any real sweetness to it, but still so tropical and beachy and fruity. It is the lime and the coconut, you know what I mean? But it's more coconut, it's in the lime because it's pretty citrus heavy. So bright, it's very Atelier Cologne, so it's not super heavy. It feels kind of floaty and airy in the way that it is. This was like my shit. I was so excited to get this, and I will say definitely not my I just like heavier stuff. Like I got into perfumes and I went down the rabbit hole to like heavier, darker scents a lot faster than I imagined I would. This is still beautiful. I still love this. I'm super happy to have it. I know Atelier isn't available in the US as readily or anything anymore, I don't think, but I'm so glad to have this in my collection. I think it's really a fun one. Super fruity, more bright though. And if you want coconut, but you don't want it to be like heavy coconut, you don't want it to be lactonic, you don't want it to be too sticky sweet, maybe try to get your hands on this if you can. I really love it. Super bright, super fruity. And the notes on that one are lime, Italian lemon, coconut, mint, and eucalyptus. So very refreshing. Let's talk about a coconut fragrance. I did put coconut on my list, and I have a lot of coconut scents I could have picked from. I really wanted to pick the one that I felt showcased coconut the absolute most. And if that was the task, I had to pick a coconut scent that actually isn't my favorite. I don't particularly love this coconut scent, especially not as much as I thought I was going to. And that is Guerlain's Coconut Fizz from the Aqua Allegoria line. I've heard a lot of great things about this. I feel like if you're a coconut lover, you've probably either heard about this, wanted to get your nose on it, or own it yourself. And I was excited about this. I think one, I'm losing my love for coconut. Not that I don't love it, but I just like it in very specific ways. I definitely go more the woody coconut sandalwood route, I feel like, as opposed to sunscreen or too fruity sweet. And this one goes a little bit more into the fruity sweet, but it's like a coconut water note. And that's so interesting to me. This is a unique, I feel like, coconut experience. I get why people like it so much, but it's very watery. So the notes on this: coconut nectar, bergamot, water fruit, freesia, sandalwood, and tonka bean. I really pick up on the kind of tang that coconut water could have. I feel like this is pretty akin to that to me. It's just interesting. I like a creamy coconut note. I want something that's, yeah, really creamy. And although this has tonka, I don't get anything like creamy or even powdery from that at all. I don't get anything creamy from the sandalwood. Like, it's more watery, like coconut water. So if you like that, or if you like, okay, how can I explain this? Sometimes it's really hard to put the scent into words. But if you like watermelon scents, I feel like this has a similar essence or quality that sometimes watermelon can have in fragrances. And I don't tend to love watermelon in fragrances. I've yet to find one I really enjoy. So let me know if you have a good recommendation for a watermelon fragrance. I don't have that on my fruit basket list for today, but it kind of has something like that. So if you like watermelon lemonade type scents or whatever, I think that this would be something you'd really enjoy. But it's definitely not the coconut scent for me. But man, it's coconut. It's definitely the fruit basket coconut. I think that fits this video. And if I do another video like this, because again, I'm not doing tons of fruits, I'll try to pick another coconut scent to put in here than that one. And last thing I want to say about that scent, if you like that and you don't want to pay this price, there is the DKNY, the coconut fragrance that came out, like, I don't know, last summer or the summer before, is so similar to me to this. So just saying, if you can find that on a good deal, it's very, very similar to that fragrance. I have both. I think it's like a straight up dupe to me. Anyway, okay, next, let's talk about Pear. I had a lot of Pear fragrances to pick from, and I also had a lot of Pear fragrances in this composition, in that they're like, you know, Pears tends to be paired with pairs with musk a lot. Like, they love to do that. I don't know, they as in perfumers, I don't know. But the one that I went with for my fruit basket is the Ariana Grande God Is a Woman. I feel like out of all the scents that I have that are similar to this, which when I say that, I'm talking about Radiant Nectar from Clean, I'm talking about Sweet from Ellis Brooklyn. I feel like there's one from Lise as well. I don't know if it's studied or, yeah, it's studied. They all have this like musky pear thing going on, but I feel like Ariana Grande's does it the most fruity. It's the more standout fruit one. The other ones maybe go more sweet and go more candy-like, or maybe they are a little bit more soft and gentle and more musky. And so I felt like this is the one that deserves to be in the fruit basket. And I quite like this fragrance from Ariana Grande. I really like the way this dries down. I love the way the musk plays on my skin as it's wearing. And I think that kind of burst of pear, that fruity note that's in here, is really quite beautiful, even though it is quite strong, and like the strongest out of the ones that kind of pair those pear and musky notes together. This also has some orris and some rose, some vanilla and sandalwood. It's a really good one. I quite like this fragrance. I think when I did my Ariana Grande video, this was in the top 3. I'm pretty sure. I do quite like it. And yeah, that's my pear fragrance out of everything that I have. There's a lot of fragrances I feel like that use pear, but this is the one that I feel like is the most recognizable pear note to me in the collection that I have, and like out of the things I've smelled. Okay, let's do a sample one that I have. This one is Sundazed from Byredo, and I really wanted to pick up a sample of this early on because this had a cotton candy note, and I was excited about that. Now, at the time, I didn't realize how much I really don't like neroli orange blossom types of scents, and my goodness, when I smelled this, I was like, what the What is that? If you like neroli and you like orange blossom, this might be something you'd really enjoy. Notes on this: Mandarin orange, California lemon. I picked this for lemon, just so you guys know. It has neroli and jasmine sambac in the mids, and then cotton candy and white musk in the base. Now that initial spray of this is very astringent, like lemon, neroli, almost cleaner, okay? And I know that's not like the fruit we're going for. I wish I had a sugared lemon fragrance to tell you about. I don't know any of those, so this was the lemon I went with. And this is one of the perfumes that, again, like I said, initially I was like, what the heck? Just give me the cotton candy, baby. But I will say, as this dries down, the cotton candy note really comes out. That sugar comes out. You get some of that like just blast and like almost like this fine mist spray of like lemon and neroli and citrus out of there a little bit. It just dies down a bit. And there's something about it. I'm not saying I love it, but I come back to it and I say, oh, I kind of, what's going on? What's happening? I'm confused by my own wanting to continue to smell this, because when I do, I'm like, but then I go smell it again. So I don't know what's going on. I feel like sometimes when fragrances that happens, you know, you're on the verge of a new awakening. And I feel like that's maybe what's happening with this, which I don't know if I'll buy a bottle of this. Byredo's obviously not cheap, but I will say never in my life when I smelled this for the first time did I think I'd be saying that. And I'm coming around to it. So I don't know if that means that even neroli and even white florals like that are more on the table for me than ever before. Is it the season? Is it the season of my life? The season of the weather? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but that's my lemon pick. It's very citrus, but I do feel like I pick up more of the lemon than I do the orange. Like it's very bright, lemony, neroli mixed with the cotton candy note. And I really like how that comes out. I want to test that more on my skin to see how the cotton candy also plays on my skin more now that I'm like interested potentially in it, because I do find with a lot of fragrances, my skin tends to bring out the sweetness. I don't think you guys are going to be surprised for my pick for mango if you guys are into niche perfumes, but I am going with Mango Skin from Wilhelm Parfumerie. I feel like I butchered that, but I don't really want to say it again. I mean, you guys got it. I said it. This I just have a little sample of. I've been keeping my little fingers tight on this. I really do want to buy this fragrance. This is one that's like on my wish list. I want to do a wish list video soon too. This is like a sexy mango to me. This is late night dancing on a summer night. You're sweating and having the best time ever, but you're in a mango scent. I really like that this does mango. I mean, it is unmistakably mango, but I think the notes of red wine that are in here, there's also some civet in the base. They're kind of like something musky and animalic or something. They're not like noticeable, but I think that's what gives this something more like mature, as in this is no baby. You know, this is no youngling, as in we're a little more experienced here, okay? Sexy, sweaty, I don't know. That's just what I pick up. Like that's the fantasy I completely create around this perfume. I want this for summer nights where adult things are gonna happen. You know what I mean? I love it. I think it's really sexy, and I think that it's oddly very straightforward of a mango, but more complex than you could think. You know what I mean? And I love that about it. It's sweet, tropical, summer nights. I think I could create a lot of really fun memories around this. Not one I would wear often. It's a choice. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I have those perfumes. There's some that I could wear anytime, all day, whatever, not a big deal. And then there's other ones that I do have, not because I want to save them for special occasions. It's just like the occasion has to be a little more specific for these. Like it's not appropriate in my head anyway, or just not really what I want to be doing. And this one to me has some of those moments for sure throughout the summer nights. But one, I feel like I could create enough of memories around using it enough in that same way. That would be just so beautiful. So can't wait to get that in my collection. It's been sold out a lot. I need to get it for summer. Probably one I'll be picking up more soon rather than later, I think anyway. That one's at Twisted Lily, so I'm gonna be buying it from there. But really, I mean, I don't know what else I'd pick for mango. What would you pick for mango besides Mango Skin? Seriously, tell me. Tell me. For apple, it was really not a hard pick. I picked Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple. This came out, I believe, fall of last year, of 2021. I just have the small bottle, which I think is so perfect. I love this little small bottle. I love the small small bottles of Kayali. I suggest these if you don't know what you want. I mean, their perfumes tend to be really, really strong as well. So unless it's like your absolute favorite, these can be great values to save some money, have a lot of options in your perfume collection. I mean, you still get a cute ass little bottle. I personally think they're the way to go for them if you have a big collection, especially too. Okay, Eat and Juicy Apple. Now, I was a little underwhelmed. Like, I love an apple note. I love like country apple from Bath & Body Works. Like, I've always loved apple notes. And so if you like apple, you're probably gonna really like this, but I do think there's something about this apple that is reminiscent of those types of fragrances from Bath & Body Works in my past. And so I think I associate that with maybe something of lesser quality or maybe a little inexpensive. I do think that there's a slight depth. There's like slightly something more going on with this. It's very subtle. It's very subtly different. It's doing apple, okay? It's doing apple to the most in our fruit basket. My God, there's nothing else giving us more apple than this one, I feel like. And I do think it's beautiful. It's just, it's almost shampoo-y in the way that this apple's done. It's very like country apple with a little hint of something darker, more depth or something to it. I'll read you the notes on here. This has tons of notes actually. Red apple, black currant, lychee, grapefruit in the top, wild berries, raspberry bloom, jasmine, rose, sugar, musk, vanilla, moss, and amber. Like tons of stuff, but apple's what you get. From all those fruits, you're getting apple. Like, at least to me, I'm not picking up anything else in there. So I actually quite like this more than maybe when I first got it. I think I had more expectation for it. But now that I, know what it is, I've kind of come to terms with this is the the apple of apples. I do quite like it, and it's not one that I will wear super often because, again, I don't go this fruity. I mean, this is fruity, sweet, again, reminiscent of Bath & Body Works stuff, but I'm glad to have it. It makes me happy to smell, and there are times where you want to be a little uplifted by your perfume, want to do something a little different, and I'm glad to have, again, this little bottle. It makes it so nice that I can have access to it while not having to buy the full size. Okay, we have 2 more fragrances to talk about. Next, let's talk about strawberry, and I know a lot of people would probably put Burberry Her for strawberry. I don't particularly love Burberry Her, and I also don't think that it's the fruity moment that goes in the fruit basket as much. So really, I felt like my only other option for fruit to me in my collection. So please tell me about yours. Well, I had 2, I guess. I had Malone and Get Strawberry. I own that one, but to me, that's not fruity enough either. It's a lot of musk. It's like a LaCroix strawberry with the dirt and the greenery in it also, and musky. So that's not really the strawberry I wanted. So I went with Daisy Oh So Intense from Marc Jacobs. I put the little top on so you could see it. So cute. This is the intense version of the Daisy scent from Marc Jacobs. This came out in 2021. And I do feel like the strawberry specifically in this one compared to the original is more pronounced in here. So that's why I went with it. I definitely want to know your strawberry perfume, so let me know, because I do like a strawberry note. There's a strawberry note that's also in Cape Heartache from Imaginary Authors, but I felt like it just wasn't strong enough. Like, it's prominent and you can tell it's strawberry in there, but it's also very woodsy and green and not for the fruit basket, okay? Not for the fruit basket. This one's more floral, and again, probably out of everything here, the least straight up fruity, so I did my best with what I had, okay guys? I am a sucker for the Daisy fragrance. It is something that has so much scent memory tied to it. It's just a part of my life, I feel like it's a part of a lot of people's lives who graduated high school in 2010, okay? And so I really like this version of it. I do think that it's a little bit just deeper. It's not as light and airy. There's something slightly more grounding to it, but it's still, Marc Jacobs Daisy. I feel like any of the Daisy line, Daisy Oh So Fresh, Daisy Love, you're getting that, Marc Jacobs DNA, and that's what you get in here. But I do think that the strawberry is a little bit more pronounced, and that's what made me put it in here. Love this. What more is there to say about Marc Jacobs Daisy? Okay, last, this is one I picked up this sample from Twisted Lily. I had a lot of perfumes that were very specific on my list to test out, and so I went over there and I bought quite a few samples. I think I bought 10 different ones. It was such an amazing scent sampling experience because I handpicked them all, and I freaking loved like all of them. It was so fun. Me and Sam were testing them, and Sam's like, man, all of these are so good. And I was like, yeah, it's because I picked them all. It's not like a house where you end up liking 1 or 2 fragrances. Instead, these are all ones that I had a pretty good feeling I'd like, and then ended up liking almost all of them. And anyway, have I even told you what this is? This is Comptoir Sud Pacifique, and this is the Vanille Banane, I believe is how you say it. I heard about this, I think from Chris at the Perfume Nest. I think she talked about it. I'm trying trying really hard to shout other perfume people out that I watch when I can remember, because there's a lot of amazing perfume channels out there. And if you're getting into scents by watching these videos from me, definitely start exploring other people. But I've also heard about a banana perfume from Simply Aisha here on YouTube. I love her channel so much too. So go check, I'm gonna leave everyone's channels down below that I mentioned, but she talks about a different banana scent that I want to sample so bad. But anyway, Chris talked about this one and I was like, I am so intrigued by a banana scent. That's one of the fun things about perfume to me. Even if I don't want to maybe wear perfume that smells like banana all the time, do I want a banana heavy perfume in my collection that smells good? Yeah, I do. I do. Like, that's how I am with perfumes. Like that, I love it. Okay, this is candied kind of artificial banana. It's so interesting because the banana really flashes at the beginning of this perfume. Okay, so your first sniff or kind of in the opening, this is like a dabber bottle, so it's unfortunate that I can't actually spray it, but in the opening is really where you get the banana, and then that like kind of classic Comptoir Sud Pacifique vanilla comes in, which is a very strong vanilla. I find it artificial. I don't know if other people do. Like, to me, that's more of an artificial vanilla, but that's what they do, man. They do vanilla. And so I wish the banana lasted a little bit longer, but it's definitely in the opening. And I actually find that once I smell the banana, I think it overwhelms my senses so much that when I go back to sniff it, even while the opening like is still there, I almost don't pick up any of the banana anymore. I pick up the vanilla. And I find that so interesting. Sam was the same way, but what a fun one. I think this is definitely, if you like sugary sweet stuff, if you love banana, this might be something to try out. I want to have a bottle of this in my collection at some point. I'm gonna try to find a good deal on it, hopefully. I don't want to pay full price for that, but it is one that I'm interested in having in my collection because I do feel like it's quite unique, and I'd specifically love to know your banana perfume recommendations. I guess I'll give you some notes really fast. This has banana, whipped cream, and orange in the top, banana leaf, clover in the mid notes, and then vanilla and white rum in the base. I don't pick up anything quite deep. I mean, these fragrances to me stay very like just kind of one noted. I mean, I guess except for the banana kind of goes away, but you get that creamy vanilla in here. Very sweet, kind of a fuzzy vanilla, like kind of powdery fuzzy to me. And yeah, almost like a pie filling or something. And it just stays there in that kind of cloud of sweetness vanilla. So anyway, I thought that was so fun. I loved that one too. And I was happy to have a sample of it. But that's my fruit basket of perfumes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and kind of this fun take on talking about fruity, tropical fragrances. Again, not the ones I'm wearing all the time in my collection just for my personal taste, but if you love fruity fragrances, these might be some keystone ones to try out in specific scent notes. Again, as always, like I was mentioning throughout the video, I'd love to know which perfumes you'd pick for these. What do you think about when it comes to specific fruit notes in your collection, or just things that you've sampled and smelled throughout the years? I'd love to know, and yeah, let me know if you want me to do another one of these maybe later in the summer with different fruit notes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.